The information and opinions presented in this podcast series are based on research done at a particular point in time. The fields of medicine, surgery, psychology, etc. are constantly evolving as new studies and movements happen. Please take into account the year of any particular episode's publication, and as new information presents itself, we will do our best to release updated episodes on the topics.
I always say this whenever I give a speech somewhere or whatnot. Anything that I speak of is pretty much based off of my perspective and my experiences. I'm in no way, shape, or form a certified doctor, psychologist, what have you. I'm a medical professional. Like I said, these are just based off of my experiences and also experiences I've had with other trans individuals, especially through the support group, the Coastal Bend Trans Alliance in Corpus Christi, under the care of the Coastal Bend Wellness Foundation. What the Wellness Foundation offers for trans individuals is hormonal therapy. Now, that is not to say that all trans individuals want to go ahead and start hormonal therapy in order to transition. So if it's important for the individual to want to see physical changes on their body, from the transhumo perspective, that usually involves obtaining estrogen and also blocking your testosterone. So with estrogen, the effects that I have seen on myself, it feminized me a lot more, I guess, than what I had already kind of started identifying. I noticed my skin got softer, less hair growth, but I would say that would be due to the estradiol, because I know there's an anti-androgen drug that they prescribe that actually can cause more hair growth, but also hair loss with the hair. But I believe that's prescribed to older individuals who are starting their transition after 40 or 50, I want to say. I know that with estradiol, that one is the one that they usually prescribe to individuals that want to transition. So with estrogen, other effects I've noticed, sensitivity in the breast area, especially around the nipple areola area. Those were very sensitive, and breast growth as well. You do get moody when you get on estrogen. It's like we say, you go through a certain period. Also, my senses were heightened. Sense of smell, sound too. I felt like I could hear more stuff. And since I've slowed down on the shots, the effects aren't as strong as that. I mean, I still do a shot a month just to keep it in my system, because it goes directly into the bloodstream, and I feel like that works fastest. Whereas a pill will take time to break down. But the good thing about the pill is once you start taking this pill, they stay in your system longer than a shot. Well, also there's a patch I think that I've heard of, and then there's where they actually stick in the hormones underneath your skin. It does help a little bit with the feminization of the voice, not completely. I would say actually that the estrogen does not do that the spironolactone does that. And the spironolactone is a testosterone blocker. It helps to cut down on the testosterone especially if you're preoperative or non-operative, the testicles will shrink and you can pretty much medically sterilize yourself. And it's also a diuretic, so you pee a lot. You want to make sure you have a healthy functioning liver too before you even take pills. There's so many things that doctors are going to look at first before they decide to prescribe you any kind of pill. And I know with spironolactone, you're not supposed to intake too much potassium, because that can really cause a bad side effect with the spironolactone. So try to keep your potassium intake at a minimum. When it comes to, I guess, functioning, as we say, I noticed at first when taking the spironolactone, I couldn't function as well, but eventually it's like they say, if you don't use it, you lose it. So it just depends on the individual. I know some trans women who are totally not into their genitals at all until they have their reassignment surgery. That's one thing I want to emphasize too. Be very honest with your doctor. Do not hold back. Do not try to lie to them. Of course, when they, draw your blood and they do what they got to do, things will come out. From what I've seen in the notes that I was given, your typical spironolactone starting dose will be 25 milligrams to 50 milligrams. And then they'll up the dosage and whatnot. For me, I noticed taking the spironolactone, especially at a high dosage, it was almost like not even wanting to function, not wanting to really do much, just kind of like lay around like a fat cat is what it was like. And also, too, even though the spironolactone is a diuretic and constantly with the water weight kind of like going up and down with my own body, I noticed with the estrogen pills and the shot, I noticed I retained a lot of water weight. So, went and talked to our doctor here, and he's like, you need to lose the weight or I can't prescribe you the medication that you need for the future. And I'm like, okay. So had to work on losing weight. And of course, with any type of medication, there are risks that come with it. One of the main ones is the deep vein thrombosis or thromboembolism, and also prolactinoma. I think a lot of girls, especially like younger ones that I've talked to, they think that, the more estrogen I have in my body, the more feminine I'm gonna be accepted in society. And as the old saying goes, more is not always better. And especially in this case, every human being needs a balance of both estrogen and testosterone. So a lot of times, a lot of trans women, due to their dysphoria and any other, mental issues that they deal with, they need to understand that it's not always going to be like you're going to go 100% on estrogen. The doctor needs to see where your hormone levels are at. And then once they determine that, then they are able to prescribe you the best dosage in order to help with your body makeup. And remember, boys and girls, everybody out there, all human beings, that, any type of medication, should be prescribed through a doctor. There's a lot of, black market exchanges that happen. And if you're not being monitored, you could potentially, harm yourself from the inside out. Oh, another way to feminize yourself, you could have the bilateral orchiotomy, which is the removal of the testicles, and then taking estrogen and reduced need for the anti-androgen therapy. Now, if you do have the orchiotomy, that could pose also some potential problems if you are deciding on having your reassignment surgery, only because they use the scrotal tissue to create labia and also depth of the new vagina. You kind of have to really have a plan before you just jump into transition. I went to a plastic surgeon to go get a consultation. They are asking me, well, what medication are you on, blah, blah, blah. I told them, and they told me at the time, I remember they said, okay, well, we're going to need you to stop taking your meds at least 2 weeks before the surgery. And then he said, and after about a week or so of recovery after, he goes, then you can get back on your regimen. And I know a lot of people feel like, if I stop taking pills, I'm going to revert back to my old self, blah, blah, blah. If you've been on the medication for a while, it's not going to happen that fast. So if you're going in for any type of cosmetic surgery and they tell you there, hey, you need to stop, go ahead and just listen to them. Don't take the pills behind their backs. Just do what's asked of you, because in the long run, it will benefit you. It's only for a short amount of time. You can do it. It's not going to be that bad.
That being said, just like if you're going to start any medication, if you're going to stop any medication for any amount of time, you do want to make sure that you let your doctor know. Like this episode? Tell someone about it. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to send an email to transfieldguide@gmail.com. Also be sure to subscribe so you can keep up with the latest episodes. Stay safe, and remember that I am proud of you.